So just a sort of brief overview of us and what we're doing, why we're doing this. So ModelProp, we started last year, and our focus is very much around property and AI and trying to help those that are in the property market to understand how best to use AI within their businesses. So what we've there are a number of different ways of doing that. And what I'm going to show you today, and indeed every single month, we're going to be doing a kind of update webinar every month this year, really as a sort of introduction and then a sort of ongoing update to what is happening in the world of AI and how that relates to property. So thanks for joining us today and welcome. As I say, we will be distributing this to those that have registered who can't make it. And what I wanted to do first of all was really kind of just get a sort of a little bit of a dive into what's happening in AI at the moment. So how to think about AI, then look through some of the tools that are on there that are already available, then what's coming down the track, and summary of those as well. If you've got any questions as we go through, please do just ping them into the chat. I'll try and get to those as well. We've got half an hour, and then there's some questions at the end as well. If you want to provide or ask any of those, we'll get to them if we can too. So we will dive in right now and start with somebody I think you'll all recognize, but this is very much just a kind of example of what's possible already. And then obviously this is as bad as it's going to be.
Listen, the estate agent market in the UK is changing. Artificial intelligence is here. You need to know what's happening, and Mal's the right guy to help you understand all of it. Join his webinar today. I'm going to make time, and you should too.
All right, so that is obviously a deep fake. We're very focused on ensuring that people obviously know that, and it's not something that we use outside of this particular environment. But I think it's really, really important. I think particularly this year to be mindful of the impact of these deep fakes. I think you've probably seen even this week, there's been a lot of talk about there was a Joe Biden phone call allegedly from him telling people to not vote. I think it was New Hampshire elections. There's been some deep fakes of Taylor Swift out there as well. So there's been a lot of talk already this year about deep fakes. And that is only going to get worse as we head even closer to elections that are in the US. There's going to be elections likely in the UK this year, in EU, in India, and elsewhere. So the ability for people to be able to utilize this technology to impact people and to make them think that things are happening that aren't necessarily is going to, I think, have a genuine impact on how people trust what they see online. All right, that I think is going to be one of the real outcomes this year, is people are going to see things that are only available online and have a certain level of skepticism about a lot of it. Now, what that means for kind of the property market and the estate agency industry, perhaps particularly, is those that have physical offices and physical addresses, those that have had their brand on at people's streets all the way through through years. Those are going to be brands that command more trust than those brands that are purely online. You may have seen on Amazon, there are so many fake product listings out there now. And a lot of them, they're just using AI to create these whole listings. So some of them have just got something about ChatGPT actually in the product name, because they're churning out so many of these that they can't even get in the quality checking right. So, if you think about the portals and other kind of global sort of or national advertisers, those that are digital first, they're going to have some real challenges about what is true and what is not. And people are going to start to distrust a lot of what they can only see online. So what that means for the property market and perhaps for estate agents specifically in the UK is those that do have a presence online, do have a presence on the high street, those that do have people on the ground that are able to be seen and so on, they will be a lot more trusted as we go through not just this year but into the future, because AI is going to have an impact on how people trust and how they view online information. So what that means then in terms of
Listen.
products and services and how one should be thinking about AI in particular. As with many products and services, there are kind of three core attributes or three core outcomes that you're looking for when you're looking to sell or to run businesses. First of all, it's a better market share. So can AI help you to gain a better market share? Can AI help you to generate a higher revenue per transaction? And can AI help you to lower your costs? All right, so those three things are really at the heart of what AI can do for good. So whilst, yes, the trust element is a big thing, and that's going to drive people to be looking at brands that they trust, so brands that have been around for a long time and that they know are genuine, it can also then actually supercharge those brands and help them to really become a higher part of that person's sort of trust mechanism and the information that they gather along the way. All right. So instead of agents just being appropriate for the start and the end of people moving in and around their areas, it's actually all the way through as well. All right. So what I wanted you to be thinking about as we go through all of this is which of these products are going to help me win more market share, is going to help me get higher revenue per transaction, and is going to lower costs. All right. So let's have a look at what is in the market right now. First of all, and again, this is something that has kind of become quite a sort of basic use case for AI, which is about property particulars writing. So property descriptions are one of those jobs that essentially is the blank sheet of paper problem. Where do I start? How do I actually get some first draft down? So what this particular service is it's essentially a way of getting that first draft in place. So this is for a particular agent called Bond Residential that we're working with. And essentially all they need to do is just take down some notes, some details about the property itself, and then they just throw them into this. And then within seconds, this creates a really strong and powerful property description that is in their tone of voice. Okay, and that's one of the key things here. There are others, and I know CRM systems and so on can have these plugged straight into them, but they tend to be just straight ChatGPT-4. So they're quite Americanized a lot of the time. So there's different spellings in there that you have to then go through and change. It can be quite samey. So it will actually sort of produce the same style of wording every single time. What this is trained to do is to make sure that it is different each time, and also that it represents the tone of voice of the individual agent. So it actually learns and is fine-tuned, trained on your best property particulars. And then it just allows you to put those bullet points or just summaries of the property in, and then it will generate a really, really good first draft of what that property description should be. So that's a really kind of neat and very sort of gentle use case for AI that really helps to cut costs. Okay, that's one of the things that obviously we're looking for from AI as we go through. Second use case, and this one's actually really, really powerful. And one of the real benefits of this as well is it's quite familiar. So this is an AI assistant, okay? And what this does is this allows agents to essentially prove their local knowledge and their local expertise all the time, all right? So this is usually a little chat bot that sits down in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen on your website. It can also integrate with WhatsApp. So when people are communicating with you on WhatsApp, then they're actually asking questions of this AI assistant and getting answers. So what does this do? What this does is it will enable anybody to come onto your site or to go through your social media, if this is embedded there, and ask anything at all. All right, so we train you on these, or we train the AI assistant absolutely on these, the various bits and pieces that are unique to you. So on your teams, on your properties, on your areas, on your history, all of that is embedded within here to the point that you can then, or that people can then come in and ask it natural language search questions. Okay, so natural language search, and we're pretty proud of this. This is the first natural language search engine in the UK. Essentially, what it allows you to do is to put in questions just as you would be asked as an estate agent yourself. So, what, for example, what 4-bedroom properties do you have for sale near an outstanding school in Whitney? Okay, so this is a estate agent in Oxfordshire. So if there are any, then it will tell you. And here we have a very nice answer. We've got a wonderful 4-bedroom detached family set over 3 floors in Woodstock. And it's just got a nice little chatty bit about some of the key features of the property. So this has gone and it has interrogated the actual database itself of properties, and it has come back with some really nice information about it. And it has also provided a nice image there and a link through to the property on the website too, and contact details. So this is allowing people to be really quite natural and quite chatty with this particular AI assistant, and get some really high quality information back. So that's the kind of property side, and you can ask it all sorts of questions about, what properties do you have in, within 10 minutes walk of train stations and things like that. What you can also then ask it is about the local area. So I can say, what's a great sports shop in Oxford, for example, and it will also then be prepared to answer, and it mirrors the language that I've just used. What's a great sports shop? It says a great sports shop is this, and it's a really great little advert for it as well. So you can see that what it is doing is it's giving a really kind of rich, localized, contextualized answer to a question that somebody might have if they're just moving into the area. So what you can do as an agent is actually provide this as almost kind of like a default link to this AI assistant as somebody moves into the area. So everybody moves in, you say, look, here is our gift to you. It's basically the area in an AI, and you can find out all that information using our expertise and who we think are the best. And again, you are building this trust. And if there's one thing you take away from this webinar, it is that trust is the thing that you need to build and to hold on to, because there's going to be so much out there that people are so confused about. So they'll be looking for a local trusted source brand that's going to be able to help them navigate that. And this is helping you to be embedded in their minds as just that. So that's the AI assistant, and it can sit on people's phones, and it's just a really kind of good way of using all of that information that you've got. Again, having been in the area for so long, trodden every paving slab, knocked on most doors, this kind of stuff, and this just helps it to be surfaced and utilized so much more than just when people are moving house. That's the AI assistant. As I say, it's custom built. It talks like you. It's essentially an extension of you. There's things about revenue generation as well. So again, going back to our 3 original, what can AI do? Can it help me win more market share? Can it help me to generate more revenue per transaction? This can, because essentially the machines never forget, right? So the machines are always going to remember, if they are told to ask whether you've got your mortgage sorted, to ask whether you've got your conveyancing together. Even it can ask things that perhaps even your best referrers never get round to, which are things like home insurance or removals. All of that stuff can be baked in here. It's a continuous communicator. So those questions that you get from tenants at like 10 o'clock on a Sunday night, that you come into reams of them on a Monday morning, those kind of have already been dealt with over time. So there's lots that you can kind of bake into this. And it's looking at whether we can use it to expand the market as well. And that's a really key part of what we do too. This AI promotion of local influence. Now, I showed you that on that AI assistant, it will answer questions like, what's the best sports shop? So you can then go to these local influencers, quality local retailers, ones that reflect your brand as well, and engage with them, as I'm sure perhaps you may have done over many years and time. But this is far more impactful and far more immediate, because they can then go onto your AI assistant and see that their name is in there. And that really kind of supercharges the idea that they know they're getting value from you. and you can add value to them. So you can point people who are new to the area to that sports shop, that florist, that pub, and get people to go and have a look around, with a warm recommendation. And then, obviously it's in their interests to have your brand behind their counter, behind their bar, on the side when they're having their haircut. And then be able to, and then to see your brand in these other locations. Now, Google's got some great stats about how long it takes for people to trust brands. All right, and there's three distinct numbers. So it's 11 touches. So Google says that it takes 11 times for somebody to see your brand before they trust you. However, it's not just 11 of the same. There's 11 touches, but it's got to be in 4 different environments. And this is where this really starts to win, because if they're seeing your brand not just on the high street, but also on signboards, but also in the local pet shop, and then also somebody's talking about it on social, then you're starting to really build up this 360-degree view of your brand, where people are seeing you as, you really are kind of committed to the local community, and you're doing good work for people that they respect. So it's a really powerful way of kind of driving that brand recognition and the brand attributes into your community, and getting local people who are your future customers to really see you as a different estate agent and somebody that they want to be working with. The final number, by the way, from Google is 7 hours. So it's 11 touches, 4 environments, and 7 hours. Sounds like a long time, but if people are seeing your brand everywhere, then those minutes and hours quickly add up. And again, that just helps people to really see you as the most appropriate brand for them to use when they do come to decide to move house. So really, really kind of rich way of using AI to further the brand elements. Next up, we've got some AI-driven marketing. All right. Now, again, this is a really core area for AI in terms of what it can do for your business. So this is a branded blogger. Now, the idea with this is it is tremendously hard for agents, people to remember to continually update blogs and social media and things like that. So AI makes this really, really, really straightforward. So here is a branded blogger that we've set up for Richard James. So this is a local news story, obviously. And what we do is we go and collect the data from this, the actual story itself, and we will then put the text into this Richard James blog, and then we'll be able to make sure that it basically is a story that is local and interesting to local people, but also has really deep keywords in it. Okay, so keywords about your local area, keywords about property, etc. So the idea here is that on, say, a Monday, we do a story about Swindon or your area. On a Tuesday, we do a story about sellers in general, or selling a property. Wednesday, landlords. Thursday, tenants. Friday, buyers, etc. So it's just a really quick way. And again, obviously, the ability to find a good story this quickly, unfortunately, wasn't available right there. But our team will look and keep looking until they find a nice story that they can then put out on a Monday. And what this does is this essentially allows you to have some really relevant and hyper local, hyper kind of personal for your target audience stories and content that then, when we put up onto your blog, it then allows people to see that you are committed to the local community, as you are, but also it allows Google to really see that these keywords, the SEO, can really build. And we've seen this with the clients we work with, where over the course of weeks we're getting 5 stories up per week, and that's really helping them to kind of be seen over and above competitors and so on. And in terms of, just so you know how much this costs, it's remarkably cost effective compared with some of the, if you are getting content done separately, it's £149 per month. I only mention that just because, again, just want you to know how cost effective AI can be, rather than for jobs that humans don't need to do. This is actually something that can be done very fully with AI, and that's something that we look at and we work with a lot. So that's the kind of the branded blogger side, and again, it's just a really great way of making sure that you're getting that content out, and you don't even have to think about it. With each of the blogs, obviously we do images as well. You may have come across some of these DALL-E, Midjourney. Some of them are really, really amazing now. You know, it's come on so much leaps and bounds from when it started. But you can just put in some really very straightforward prompts, and it will give you some real high quality imagery coming back. This is one thing that we're working on, which is around propensity AI. So this is the ability for AI to identify people who are most likely to move home. All right, so people who are very much, you know, the average in a particular street is, say, 8 years, and this particular house hasn't moved for 7.5. That's data that AI can provide to you, so that you can then be far more forensic in your targeting. And that's something that's a real good use of AI and data. You might have seen now as well that essentially ChatGPT and other AI has vision. It can see now. So you could, for example, put that in the middle here. We've got a cupboard with food in it. You can put that into AI now and say, "What can I have for dinner?" And it will look at it, understand it, and will answer the question. You can see there's "Where's Wally" there. You can put a picture of the "Where's Wally" onto the AI and actually ask it where Wally is, and it'll tell you. And then over here, what we've got is just some old, some very old. In fact, this is from 1905, 1907, property particulars or property advert. And AI is so sophisticated now that actually what it can do is it can take that picture. So if I copy that into ChatGPT, then it will, and then I could say transcribe. Then it will go away and do just that. Okay, so what the power of this is, and again, thinking about your businesses and thinking about what historic data you may have, this allows you to digitize historical records. Okay, so things that you may, you know, dusty old filing cabinets in basements that have got property particulars from a long time ago. This can really be something so personal to you. And again, this is what AI does. It allows you to be as personal and as individual as you are. You know, historically with the property portals and so on over the last 20, 25 years, there's almost been this sort of homogenization of all estate agents, where there's just this, your uniqueness is essentially your logo. This brings back all of this history, all of the information, all the AI assistants sound like you, talk like you. This can be all of your historic data digitized, and then you're able to use it and reuse it. So, you know, we're working with agents who are digitizing their historic records, are then utilizing those so that they will actually be able to go out to the market, go and ask their consumers, people out there, and say, "Look, why don't you just come and put your property address in, and we'll tell you whether we've ever valued your property." And so, you know, it's kind of gamifying it. It's almost like ancestry.com for your property. And what they will do is put the details in. And then, of course, the natural next step is, right, yeah, if you tell them that we valued your property 10 years ago and it was worth this, is to then say, "Well, look, why don't we come around and value it again now and tell you how much it's changed?" So it helps to drive different behaviors. It helps to drive new leads and fresh ways of working. So it's a really powerful tool from that perspective. And so because, as we can see, AI can and does now look through pictures and understand, you know, what's in these different images. It can do that with property images as well. So here is a very quick property video that we can literally make in a couple of hours, that is all about reading the images. It's got a little bit of text that we added to it as well, just so it knows where a proximity to a train station is and so on. But this is purely AI. It's AI scripted, so AI has looked at the images, looked at, and it's got a bit of data in it. It then creates a script. It then is an AI voiceover for the script. It then it's got AI music in the background, and it also makes the static images move. So you'll see this bush on the right-hand side starts to move. This is from static images only. All right, and the next image you'll see the curtain kind of flutters a little bit. So this is what AI can do right now to deliver really very short and very quick what we call prop clips within just a few hours, so that people can, you know, vendors can see that you're advertising their properties literally almost since you've got out the door.
Welcome to this quintessential English cottage. a blend of charm and practicality, which is available for offers in excess of £425,000. As you step past the period facade, you're treated to tranquil views of the countryside that lie just 6 miles from Tunbridge Wells and 3 miles from France Station. Inside, the heart of the home is a spacious open-plan kitchen and dining area, perfect for family feasts and cozy gatherings.
Okay, so as you can see, these images are, that whilst they were static images, then AI has made them move. And that one in the garden, those ones, those plants were not moving. So it's got a call to action at the end. So this can be shared on social media, and obviously the kind of idea that you can see this property and organize a viewing before anybody else can is a really powerful sort of call to action. What else is AI really, really good at? AI is really good at virtual staging. Okay, so this is an empty room, and if you imagine it's a new home or unfurnished home, and it can be furnished very, very quickly and very effectively. It can also get rid of furniture. Okay, so imagine you've got perhaps an investment property, perhaps one some probate where somebody's lived there for a long old time, even stale properties that have been on the market for quite a while. You can actually go in and virtually stage them and just change them up so that those hero images on the front of the adverts are different, and actually enable people to come back and think again about whether that property is appropriate for them. So virtual staging is really strong. Here's another example of it, a slightly higher quality one. But you can see on the left-hand side, there's somebody standing in the doorway. There's a massive boiler in the middle of the room, and this just completely changes how one sees this property and imagine how you might live in it. This is really new. Okay, so again, AI is moving so fast that when we do the webinar next month, there will be some more new stuff in it, and this has certainly come on in the last few weeks. So this is AI avatars. Now, if you imagine that, we could take 5-10 minutes of a recording of you just chatting, and then using that voice and that imagery can then make you essentially say anything that's typed in. Okay, so here's an example of AI avatars.
Hi there, AI Mal here. This avatar is reading whatever I write down. The benefits to businesses of being able to harness this are clear, from internal training to marketing updates on the current market to individual summaries to vendors of what's been happening with their properties. And these will only get better.
All right, so literally you can type in whatever you want. It can read property descriptions. It can do training modules for you. Essentially, in terms of saving you time and effort, it's going to be huge. So again, that's something super exciting. And as AI Mal says, it's only going to get better from there, right? So AI avatars are coming, and they're something that I think is going to be quite a significant development for us. What's next coming down the track? So AI agents is something that you're going to hear a lot about. So these are AI, they're kind of connected AIs. So the point of them is to do things for you, not just to give you information, which is historically what AI assistants have done, but AI agents actually go and do stuff for you. So if you wanted to, for example, book a restaurant at this particular time and day for 4 people, and it's Italian, then it will go and find Italian restaurants with space at that particular time. It will then bring back to you some options. You choose the option, and then it will go away and book it for you. All right, so that is coming. Now, in terms of what that means for you as agents, people will be looking to see if they can just book valuations and viewings, just by doing this sort of stuff. Can you, organize the sale of my property, etc. So AI agents are going to become something very, very powerful, and more as we go through this year, they're going to be something that you'll see. This is, again, just going to be huge. This is all about AI videos. Lumiere is something that Google's released this week, so in the last few days, and this is what it looks like. All right. So as you can see, there's that's going to be amazing. Essentially text to video where you just type in what you want. You know, you want a monkey drinking a cup of tea while they're on their MacBook, then that's going to be there as well. So huge opportunities. You know, how expensive has it been to create videos in the past? That's going to change. All right, and again, that means quite a lot for local videos. That means things for property videos, etc. So there's a lot to keep an eye on there as well. So I'm mindful we've gone a little bit over my time, so I'm just going to run very quickly through the kind of summary. So the thing to be thinking about all the time about AI is about trust. So how can you make sure that whatever you're doing, you are driving trust in your brand and what you're doing and what you're there for. That's the thing to protect all the way through and to continue to drive. And in return, what that will do is bring you better market share, because people want to work with brands they can trust. It will generate higher revenue per transaction because people will, again, be using your recommendations for the additional services that they want as part of their move, and lower costs. You know, thinking about how you can bake in some of these products and services into what you do, that will help you to make sure that you are enabling the machines to do the machine stuff and the humans to do the human stuff. Okay, well, listen, thank you so much for joining me today. I don't know if there's any questions, and if anybody does have any, then please do speak up. Otherwise, I will thank you very much indeed for your time today. Appreciate you being on. We'll make sure there's recordings here. If anybody wants those, then please do email us. Let us know. My email address is mal@modelprop.ai. And listen, good luck out there. Let us know anywhere that we can help. AI is here to help you to build your businesses, and it's going to be a big part of all of our lives going forward. So yeah, we're here to help you with any questions you have. All right. So thanks again. Look forward to catching up soon. All the best. Bye-bye.